sensitive man. And I think one day I'll be a responsible father, and it's important you realize that and remember that for the rest of the story. So, two of my friends and I were on our way to Avalon, New Jersey, and I thought we were set for a 3-day weekend of debauchery, where good decisions were sacrificed in favor of girls named Chelsea, with an I. And I was informed on the way down, not until we were on the way down, that not only would we be spending the weekend with my friend's parents, but there would be 3 children along with us, whose collective ages of 14, 10, and 5 didn't even equal my own. And the 5-year-old, we'll call her Gabby, or no, Ruby, because that was her name. She was adorable. She was adorable, and I immediately hated her. Because parents who have kids look at kids and they associate all these good qualities with them, but people without kids look at kids and they're reminded of screaming plane travel. There were moments destroyed by tiny people you're not allowed to hit. I always pass out by going up to a screaming baby and asking for their full name, and then writing it on a piece of paper, putting it in a drawer, and then 18 years later tracking them down and just punching them in the face when they open the door. But that was for that Delta Flight 95, you son of a bitch. But Gabby wasn't like that. Gabby was sweet. She had 4 teeth and this disarmingly cute speech impediment, so... And after a few minutes, I was Uncle Sean, and we were discussing princesses. So the problem was, I liked all of them, and on Saturday when the family was due to leave, their car was having trouble, and I stepped forward and I was like, well, let's just take those kids to the beach, and I'll look after little Ruby. Or, yeah, Ruby, we're calling her Ruby, right? Because that was the last time. So and the suggestion that I spend time in closer quarters with the child is laughable, especially if you want that child to be returned alive. So we go to the beach, and it's myself, my 2 friends, the 2 little boys, and little Ruby. And the appearance of 3 adults with 3 small children at the beach should have caused some concern, but people didn't mind. It was like we were vacationing child molesters. We were just giving them a good time on the beach. So they went, all the boys went to play soccer, and I was left alone with little Ruby. And I didn't really realize it at first, because I was enjoying all the smiles from the mothers passing by. Like, oh, she's so cute. You're doing such a good job. And it felt good to be a father. I'm smiling, like, well, I'm very blessed. She's just the best. And I'm inventing stories about my recently departed wife, Susan. And it became more elaborate. At first she had this long illness, and then she was eaten by a shark. But daydreaming is a dangerous activity for babysitters, and when I open my eyes, I see little Ruby standing in front of me, peeing down her leg. And she didn't seem too fazed by it. I'm freaking out, so I'm like, well, I don't know her family. Maybe this is normal behavior at the beach for her. So she sits down, she starts showing me her seashells. And as she's doing it, she reaches in the bottom of her swimsuit and pulls out what looks like wet sand, but on closer inspection was poop. Ruby had shit herself. And there's nothing to prepare you for the moment when a child you're responsible for watching shits herself and then shows it to you. And she's sitting there like, and then just flings it on the sand and goes skipping down to the shoreline, her backside sagging and full of feces. And I'm expecting child services to be like running across the beach with cameras. I knew I had precious few moments to make this not a moment from her childhood, and more importantly, not a moment that I was in. A memory that I was in from her childhood. I just pictured her on a therapist's couch years from now. She's like, there was this big bald man. He told me to call him uncle, and he saw the whole thing. So I realized I have to destroy the evidence right away. So I'm reaching in the sand and I'm covering the poop pile. I'm making it into a sandcastle. And I look down, and Ruby's on the shoreline just flinging poop into the ocean, clapping and kind of carrying the world. And she runs up from the shoreline and still has her hands covered. And I'm like, oh my God, what now? I'm calling my friends over, we gotta go, we gotta go. And she opens her hands and there's a seashell in there. And she's like, I got it for you, Uncle Sean. Yeah, this girl had just pooped herself in a very public arena and couldn't care less. I don't know if that was a good thing or a bad thing, but I wrapped her in a towel and sent her back to her parents, and I was telling the story to my friends later that night, and they were marveling at how quickly babysitting had turned into baby shitting. And I'll repeat, I am a caring, emotional, sensitive man, and one day I will be a good father. One day.